One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Hey, good day, good Sunday afternoon. Okay, so I want to come on this Sunday afternoon because my brother Soul, if you all are not familiar with Immortal Minds on Instagram, on YouTube, I want you to head over and check out his channel. He gave me an excellent content idea. And so I decided to go live so we could talk about it. Okay. So what is the difference between love bombing, right? When we're talking about NPD folks or people with narcissistic tendency, what is the difference between love bombing a person and someone who is actually just genuinely interested? Yes, there is a difference. But here is the thing that I'm always telling ladies, and I'm actually going to talk to the gentleman today too, because female NPDs, female borderlines, so most females, when we're talking about personality disorder, they are predominantly borderline personality disorder, right? So don't get me wrong, I've seen some female narcissistic personality disorder women. But if I'm being really honest, most of the women that I would classify as, when men say, oh, she's a female narcissist, I say, no, she's probably got borderline personality disorder. And I would classify men as more NPD. So, but it is possible for a woman to have NPD. It's possible for a man to have borderline personality disorder. So I'm going to talk to the men today too, because it looks a little different when it's a female. But when it's a man, the number one thing that I'm always encouraging women to do is do that healing work. Why is that so important? It's super important because if you don't have a life, if you don't have hobbies and interests, if you don't have friends, if you don't have family, if you don't have people that you truly feel connected to, that you do things with regularly, that you talk to on the phone, that you text, that you laugh with, right? If you don't have a community, if you don't have a community of folks that you're regularly connecting with, those are the people that are susceptible to love bombing because they are so starved for oxytocin. They are so starved for serotonin, right? They're starved for all these love chemicals. They haven't had a hug and I don't know when. So someone coming along, someone being relatively attractive, someone being charming, and this right here, ladies, you ready? This is the thing that'll get us. And I'm going to include myself because I recently, maybe about a year and a half ago, got by someone like this. But this is how we get got. Someone who appears to be very masculine. Someone who appears to be very masculine, someone who's very focused, someone who has a purpose and seems to be very driven, someone who's very brave and courageous, right? So, y'all, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. Okay, let me get over. So, we're seeing this man show up, and he is very assertive, right? And especially today, that's so rare. It's so rare that a man would be brave enough to walk up on you or to ask you out, to be so direct. That's really, really rare. And so narcissistic personality disordered men, they are incredibly brave. They're incredibly courageous. They're incredibly charming. They're coming off as very masculine, very much in control, very much, direct and competitive and conquering and controlling and all the masculine things. And so we think that all of our dreams have come true in this man, right? What you don't recognize is deep down underneath, under the surface, this man is actually, so it's all a facade, right? You ever think about the person who, comes off really bold and really brazen and, is like the life of the party, right? When the reality is that person's very insecure. That person's afraid. That person has a lot of wounds. That person is not as confident as they appear. It's not real confidence. It's like an act. It's all a facade, right? So they have this persona that they put on that they never take off. And it's almost like being an actor. They're pretending to be someone else, but that's not who they really are. So just understand that. These people are master manipulators, and these people are great actors. They know how to put on this persona, and they know how to stay in that persona for the most part. So if you do that healing work, you will see through that, right? You will see through that. You will start to see some inconsistencies, some cracks. You can see the mask slip here and there. And if you've done the healing work, you're going to call it out. See, that's the thing. A lot of women who are people pleasing, a lot of women who want men to like them, a lot of women who, I don't want to make waves. I just want this person to like me. I want this opportunity to date this person or go out with this person or whatever. So y'all are going to keep quiet. Y'all are going to keep quiet. And that's the problem. You're not going to call out the inconsistency. You're not going to call out the little things that you notice where something isn't quite right. Because that is the kryptonite of the NBD personality. When you see something that doesn't align and you call it out, and all you have to do is observe how they respond to that. How do they respond to you saying, hey, I noticed you said you worked out 3 times a week at 6 a.m. and yet I was visiting you for 4 days and you didn't work out any of those days. Like, what's that about? Right? You call out inconsistencies. You call out things that when they tell you one thing and it turns out to be another, you have to be brave enough to call that out. But you'll only do that once you've healed that people pleaser, that don't make waves, don't cause arguments, especially if you came from households where you just speaking your truth or you just speaking your feelings is you starting a fight. Okay? A lot of y'all are trained not to say anything. Not me. I thank God every day I was not trained that way. I'm opening my mouth on the regular. So, and look, can't nobody shame me. That's what's so hilarious. People will actually try to shame me for speaking up and speaking out and telling them how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, telling them how emotional I am or how, oh, are you on your period? Yeah, I am. Oh, well, women, y'all need to get out y'all feelings. No, I won't. Because last I checked, my feelings come standard with the vagina that I have. Like I'm a woman. So if you want a stoic, logical, factual person, then you need to date a man. You don't need to date a woman. But if you like the vagina, then it's going to come with a side of feelings. It's going to come with a side of emotions. Okay, I digress. So you got to get strong enough so that nobody can shame you out of how you feel, shame you how you express yourself, as long as it's respectful, as long as it's, respectful and kind. Yes, I'm a woman. I have feelings. I have emotions. And I rely on that quite a bit, to feel out things, to make certain judgments and have discernment. See, I can't be shamed out of that. A man's not going to make me feel bad about that. Right? So you got to do the healing work, because that really is the NPD kryptonite, is you have to do the healing work. You can't be so thirsty and so hungry for oxytocin and serotonin and all the other love chemicals that come along with the attention that a person will start giving you, right? A brand new person who seems attractive. And look, y'all, this is the funny thing. A lot of NPD personalities, they're not even super physically attractive. It's not even about being physically attractive. It's an energy that they carry. It's a way they have. It's like an energy and just a way that they have of the boldness, the braveness, all of that stuff. and, just having this hyper focus on you and who you are and trying to get to know you. And I'm going to be honest with you. If nobody else in your life has ever made you feel so special or ever made you, ever took an interest in you, it's addictive. It's addictive to meet a person, and from the day they meet you, they want to know everything about you. They want to know about your mama. They want to know about your daddy. They want to know about your childhood. They want to know your favorite food, your favorite drink. They want to know this. That's addictive. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want someone's undivided attention? And then this is what they also going to do. So they are going to want to spend a lot of time, more time than is necessary, more time than is appropriate for the amount of time that y'all have known each other. That's one of the love bombing techniques. We just met each other a few days ago, and you're calling me 10 times a day. You're calling me 8 times, 6 times. You're texting me 5 or 6 times a day. Now, we just met 5 days ago. You want to see me every day. So, do you have anything else to do? Do you work? Do you have kids? Do you have housework? What else are you doing that you're over here all the time? That's not what normal, healthy people do. Normal, healthy people, this is what I do, because I'm a normal, healthy person. I meet a man, and if I'm interested in him, or let's say I don't even know if I'm interested in him yet, he's interested in me. I'm like, oh, let's see what this could be. And if he says, yeah, let's go out tonight. Well, I've already scheduled clients until 8 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, I come home, I let the dog out or take her for a walk, and then I kind of wind down for the evening. Okay, well, what about tomorrow? Well, tomorrow, let me look at my schedule, but it looks like tomorrow I'm booked too until about 8 o'clock. See, I already have a life in progress. I've already been doing my life before I even met this person. And as I tell you all the time, do not drop your life. That's an absolute no-no. I don't drop my life because I met a new person that I'm excited about. What I do is I look at my schedule and I find places to fold that person in. And I would hope that they would do the same. But I want you to understand, if that person's willing to drop everything about their life, and I'm talking within the first few days, the first few weeks of knowing you, that's love bombing. That's love bombing. Healthy, emotionally healthy people do not do that, right? If my children were still minors and I had my children every other weekend, and I met a man, let's say it was my weekend to be with my kids on Saturday, but I met a man on Tuesday night, right? Oh, okay, I meet this guy on Tuesday night out somewhere. We talk the next day, and he's just like, yeah, we should drive up to DC this weekend. You know what I tell him? Well, this weekend I have my children. This weekend I'll be spending that weekend with I don't drop what I'm normally doing for a man I just met. Okay? Healthy, normal people tell that person, they communicate, hey, I have my kids this weekend. So we can shoot for next weekend when I don't have my kids. That means that man is going to have to wait a whole 7 to 9 days? He's going to have to wait 7 to 9 days. And we can talk on the phone. We can text here and there. But yeah, I have my kids this weekend. That's not going to happen. But if that upset him, if he pressed me, if, he couldn't take no for an answer, that's love bombing. So just understand that how you're going to know the difference is really in how you respond. If a person is buying gifts, if a person is calling a lot, texting a lot, if the gifts, this is the other thing I tell ladies, if the cost of the gift does not match the time you've known that person, okay? It is one thing to bring a small bouquet of flowers from the grocery store or from Walmart, right? It is one thing for you to say, oh, I love Snickers candy bars, and him to bring you 2 of them, okay? That's one thing. It is another thing, and this has happened to me. We've been on one date. It's a true story. We've been on one date. And, hey, I'm going to a whole nother state to see a concert, right? And I'd like to fly you down there, and I'd like to put you up, and I'd like for us to go out to dinner and go to this concert and, spend the night and then go back. That's love bombing. We've gone on one date. That is a very extravagant, that's a very extravagant trip, or even if, I mean, it's one day and one night, but still, you're just meeting me. You're just meeting me. We've been on one date. And the next time we talk, that's your suggestion. Yes, that is love bombing. Because why would you as a man invest that much into a woman that you've been on one date with? That's quite the gamble, wouldn't you say? That's quite the gamble, especially for all the men out here on my platform talking about getting used and women wanting free meals, and the only reason why they going out is to get free meals. But yet this man's gonna take me to a whole nother state, whole nother state, gonna fly me there, gonna put me up, gonna take me out to dinner, take me to the show, spend the night, and come back. Okay, and we've gone on one date. So yes, that is considered love bombing, right? That is you going above and beyond to try your best. So this is let me wrap it up. You ready? Love bombing is basically, I've got to move very quickly. I've got to try to put you in a state of limerence. It ain't even love. It may not even be infatuation. I've got to put you in a state of limerence very quickly about me. I've got to make you think I am your Prince Charming. I've got to make you think I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and I've got to do it quickly, right? That's another part of love bombing. It is not done here and there, every other week, every fourth week, fifth week. No. It's done every day, every other day. Like, it is done quickly, right? So I've got to quickly make you feel comfortable with me. I've got to quickly make us familiar to each other, right? I got to do this very quickly. And whether that quickly is so that the man can gain sexual access, whether that quickly is so that the man can gain financial access, that's a thing, where these men are putting these women in a state of limerence so they can have a place to stay, they can have a car to drive, they can get money, they can get investment for their business. Like, I'm going to be frank, men do this for all kind of reasons. All kind of reasons. I've seen it. I've seen men pull this, and within a month they were living with the woman. They found out about her big, beautiful house or found out about her BMW, and in a month later, because of love bombing, she believed he was her Prince Charming. She believed that this man was everything she could have ever wanted. She had never met a man who saw her, who heard her and saw her like that, who cared about her, who took an interest in her, and just did all these special things. She had never met a man like that ever. But what she didn't realize was that man had NPD. See, that's what she's not realizing. No, because true Prince Charmings, true men who genuinely care about and could one day love you. So first of all, they don't throw around the L word. They don't throw around the word love. They don't throw it around in the first month. They don't throw it around, if I'm being honest, they don't throw it around in the first 3 months. Okay, that's to me, that's love bombing. If a man tells you he loves you within the first 3 months, no, that's not love. He's infatuated, he's in lust, he's in limerence. It's another L word, but it ain't love. Okay? So it's, to me, it surprises me that people fall for men like that, because to me it's very obvious. It's very obvious what's happening. But again, remember what I said about your inner work. So if you are so desperate, if you're so thirsty, you're so hungry. I've been in the desert forever, Anita, and here comes this man, and he is saying all the things that I've only dreamed of hearing a man say. He's doing all the things I've only dreamed of a man doing. You are going to think it's real when it's not. It's like the mirage in the desert, right? You've been in the desert for days and weeks without water and food, and oh, there in the distance, I see some food, I see some water, I see a diner, see, you think it's real. It's a mirage. It isn't real. So that's why we have to feed ourselves. We have to drink plenty of water. We have to emotionally feed ourselves. We have to spiritually feed ourselves so that we are not empty. People with NPD, they get over on people who are empty. People who have a hole somewhere in them. And if I could be so honest, when this happened to me, my life was going pretty great. I had a great life. Things were going good, but I did have a hole. I did have a hole in me. And guess what? That person found it and just started pouring into it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, all right. I mean, maybe. But here's another tip I want to give you if this starts happening, is you're simply going to slow it down. You're going to say how much you appreciate it. You're going to say how wonderful the man is. Like, oh, wow, this is really wonderful. It's so thoughtful of you. Like, you're going to be sweet and kind and you're going to appreciate it, but you're going to slow it down. And if the man continues to pressure you, if he keeps his foot on the gas, if he won't let you slow it down, if he gets angry, if he gets frustrated, that's the sign. If he's a healthy man, he respects the fact that things are moving too fast. Things are moving way too fast. Like, seriously, I just met you and you're inviting me clean out of state. You're inviting me to a whole nother state. And we're going to do all of this and come back the next day. Like, you don't think that's a lot. Like, see, that's all you got to do. All you got to do is call it out and say, wow, that's a lot of expense to put out for someone you just met. See? Now, if you are met with anger, if you are met with frustration, you ready, ladies? I'm about to save somebody's life here in this video. What? Well, y'all a trip. Y'all women are a trip. Y'all claim y'all want a good man. You claim you want a good man and him to do this and that, and then you get somebody to do it and you tripping. Right there. That's the mask coming off. And I know because I lived it. Right? I lived it. Say something to that effect. Wow, that's awfully, that's awfully nice of you. That's very thoughtful of you. However, that seems like kind of a lot of expense to put out for someone you just met. If that man loses his ish, like, if he loses his mind, if you now become enemy number one, if he lash out, that's the answer. That's the answer. See? That's the answer. Okay? Let me give you the appropriate response for a healthy man. So we go on one date, and the next text I get is about going to some concert out of state. Yeah, I want you to be my date. I want you to fly with me to this concert and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I mean, I'm really flattered. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. However, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems a little early. It seems a little soon for that. And that last thing I would want to do is put you out like that. Like, that really, seems like a very expensive thing, for us, considering we just went on one date. Oh, yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I mean, I had these tickets and, I was going to go and just wasn't sure who I was going to take. And, you seem really cool, but no, for sure. I totally get it. Like, yeah, I can plan for us to do something next week, or I can plan for us to do something when I get back. No, I totally get it. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to, I want everything to be on the up and up. I want you to feel comfortable. That is the response you should get. Remember, ladies, remember, a man should accept your no. If a man does not accept your no, that's a great big red flag. If I say no to coming up to your place, if I say no to you picking me up for a date, if I say no, I have to work late on that night, I'm not able to make it. If I have to change plans for a legitimate reason, and that man flips out, if he loses his mind, That is the answer. That's the difference between a genuine person who genuinely likes you and someone who's like, what? This isn't moving quick enough. This isn't moving fast enough. Like, I have an agenda here, and you putting me off 2, 3, 5 days out is not getting me the results that I want. That's it. But they are going to spend money that doesn't make sense for the amount of time you've known them. They are going to make extravagant plans. They are going to use the L word way too soon. Okay? They're going to future fake, which is they're going to tell you about all these things you all could do in the future and all these places you could go and all these people you could meet. And remember, time is the key. The key word is time. If all of these things happen in a short amount of time, that's someone who's love bombing. That's someone who needs you to feel comfortable, who needs you to be in a state of limerence, who needs you to be infatuated with them relatively soon. Because guess what? They know that when you are in that state, you are vulnerable. You are weak. You are susceptible to doing things that you would not normally do. Okay? But a genuine man, a genuinely good guy, and don't let him be for my generation. Don't let him be 40, 50 plus. He will do these nice things, but if ever you're like, this is really making me uncomfortable, or this, buying me a $200 watch and we've known each other for 2 weeks makes me feel really uncomfortable. When you say that, he backs off. He accepts your no. He slows down. That's the difference. It's really all about you. That's why I keep telling women, do the work. I had to do what? I went back into therapy, maybe 2 months after that, and just finished maybe a month ago. Like, it took almost a year of just, okay, there was a hole in me. Like, there was a hole in me somewhere that this person, they found it and they started filling it. That's why all this happened. So I need to find that hole now. I need to fill that hole. I need to make sure all the holes are filled so nobody else is coming along and seeing that hole and then pouring into it. So it's really about us. It's not about them. It's about us. And so when we're not 100%, when we're not 90%, when we're 60%, when we're 50%, yeah, we have holes in us. We have things within us that these people, they see it. They're like, ooh, look at that right there, right there. And look, don't go to running your mouth. Don't go to running your mouth about your past. Don't go to running your mouth about your past baby daddy or your past husband or your past boyfriend and how bad they treated you or your childhood wounds. Don't go to running your mouth. Oh no, baby, you're really in trouble. And look, they the student and you the teacher. They taking notes. They're like, okay, abandonment. Okay, I got these abandonment wounds. I've been cheated on. That's why y'all need to keep your mouth closed. A lot of y'all need good girlfriends. You need therapists, okay, and counselors, coaches. You need somebody to process all this stuff with, so you're not out here running your mouth to these men you're trying to date. Okay? Because, yes, the NPD man, he's using all of that against you. And look, don't be one of these women. See, there's another one that y'all ripe and ready. You ripe and ready to get plucked, right? So let's say, you've been working for 10 years and you tired and this and that, and I need to live the soft life and blah, de blah. And here along come this man and you start crying about femininity and I can't be in my feminine energy. I can't rest in my femininity and all this other stuff. Oh, well, I make plenty of money. I got a house. I got this. I got that. Come live with me. Quit your job. Come live with me and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. And you can lean back and you can be the girl. That's the thing that women don't understand. These NPD men, they have this masculinity mask down. Okay. They got all the talking points. All the talking points. They are the man. And it's very attractive. Like, I'm just being honest. There's nothing more attractive to me than a man that comes along who plans everything, does everything. And look, the plans are really great. They take the lead. They take your arm. They pay for everything. They make sure you're good. They make sure you're safe. There's nothing more attractive than that. But again, you got to be ready to step back. And it's really about time. When you step back and say, oh my gosh, that is such a wonderful trip you planned. I'm really, really appreciative. However, I just think it's too soon. We've just met each other. We've only been on 2 or 3 dates. I just feel like it's a little too soon for us to do that. And let me tell you something. It's going to take everything in you to even say that. Right? Because you want to go. Like, you want to go. You want to go. What? Somebody going to pay for a trip? Somebody going to take care of all the expenses related to a trip? You want to go. But the bad news is you could be falling into an NPD person's web. And that web is sticky and you can't get out of it. Okay? All right, I'm gonna look at your comments real quick and then I'm running in. We're actually coming from a new park on the east end of the city. Beautiful park. We had an amazing, amazing, amazing time today. It was just a gorgeous day. Still is. I'm gonna take the dog for a walk. We left the dog, but I'm gonna take the dog for a walk. Dope, the real dope daddy said red flag. Yep. Okay. I met this guy online. We have never met in person and he already talking marriage. Absolutely not. I said, y'all, some of these people are so obvious. That's so obvious. Bruh. If you have never smelled me, if you have never tasted me or smelled, I know that's getting kind of graphic, but if you have not tasted or smelled me and you're talking about marrying me, that's crazy. That's some next level ish right there. That's insane. So that's an easy one. And look, that's a man that need a place to stay. That's a man that need a place to stay right there. That's a man that need a car to drive. He need a place to stay. Okay. No. Okay, a mama's girl. So when you're dating and they ask why your last relationship ended, what do you say? It will truly depend on why your last relationship ended. Now, do I want you to give the blueprint? No. Let's say everything was going fine and you were a year in and you all got in an argument and the man hit you. You could say something as simple as, unfortunately, this man crossed my boundary. He crossed a boundary that I set, or he committed a fatal flaw. Like he broke one of my deal breakers, right? He broke one of my deal breakers. That's it. I have no problem. Look, I have no problem telling people my marriage ended because of adultery, but I don't need to go into all the dirty details. You can probably say, oh, the guy hit me. And that is one of my deal breakers. That is an absolute zero tolerance offense. But that's it. Then you need to be quiet. You don't need to go into all the dirty details and how often it happened and why it happened and how you felt. See, that's the problem. Everyone on the internet knows that my husband committed adultery. I have a document from the court that says my husband committed adultery. There are a whole lot of details to that story. But that's just, I don't need to share those details. All right. So get it real, right and tight. You don't need to give all these extra. Okay. Y'all are giving too much information to people you don't even know. You're giving too much information to people who are not safe. Okay. These people are not safe. People have to earn your story. I have friends in my life right now that, like, this year, if I'm being honest, this year was the first year I told them details about my marriage. And these people have been in my life for 5 years. I was like, well, I think you earned it. I think you earned it. Like, we've shared some other vulnerable stuff and we've talked about some different things. I think you've earned it. 5 years. And now I'm sharing deeper things about my marriage or other things that have happened. But no, everybody is not worthy of your story. You should not just be giving that out hand over fist, especially to people who haven't earned it. No. She said, I need a session because that's my issue. I tell too many details. Yeah, no. Keep your mouth closed. right? Find a one sentence response. And for me, it's chronic infidelity. That's it. Well, there was chronic infidelity. See? Short and sweet. Now I'm sitting here with you hoping things work out better. Like that's exactly what I say. I'm sitting here with you. Let's see how it go. Okay. That's the whole conversation. I don't want to hear every dirty detail about your marriage. I don't want to hear every dirty detail about your divorce. Like we're in the present moment and we need to leave it right there. When you're dating, they ask so many questions. And guess what? If there's ever a question that you're not ready to answer, see, this is the part where I want women to do the healing work. When you do the healing work, you can tell a man, no, you didn't. Like this, I like humor. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I use humor. When a man asks me a question I'm not ready to answer or I deem it's too personal, I use humor. That's how I deal with it. I'm like, no, you did not. So what oh, I'm sorry. We on a therapy session? I thought I was a therapist. Like I use humor. That's how I deflect it. And most men will get the hint. Like, okay, I'm doing too much. I'm asking too much. Y'all, I had this one man that we were just talking on the phone and he asked me something about the last person I dated before him and did I have sex with him and what type of sex acts. I said, sir, like, no, you did not. Like, who do you think you are? Well, I mean, I'm just curious. He act like there was nothing wrong with what he asked. I said, sir, who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think who you are? Like, why would you ask such personal questions? Like, we are just getting to know each other. And again, how about this? This is a funny story. So that man, he had some NPD characteristics. And thankfully, he told on himself over the phone. We never met up. He called himself driving all the way down here. He lived up north. He drove all the way down here to Richmond. We never met up. We never met up because I was like, nope, no. He gave himself away over the phone. So look, and if you told him no, if you said, oh, he's like, oh, I'm coming down there to visit my cousin. And are you going to be available that weekend? No, I'm really not. I'm not going to be available or I'm not even going to be in town or blah, blah, blah. He would lose it. He would lose it. And then come back a couple days later. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I probably shouldn't have acted that way. And see, that NPD mask is slipping. This is the one thing I want ladies to remember. People with NPD, right? They live in their own reality. They live in their delusion. And if you're not willing to join them in that delusion, like if you challenge their reality, okay, if you say, hey, that's not right. Hey, that's not very thoughtful. That's not very kind. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Like the fact that you're actually challenging that what they see as their reality isn't real. Oh, they're going to lose it. They're going to lose their mind. Like, how dare you? How dare you say I'm not a good father? How dare you say I'm not? Yeah, they're going to lose their mind. But that's the tell. Remember, in poker, every person has what's called a tell. It's a sign. It's either a visual sign, it's a tick, it's something that a person does that lets you know what's really going on inside of them. Earlier this year, I took a class on, reading people's behavior. It's on body language, right? So I took an online class on body language, reading people's behavior. I kid y'all not. I go back to that stuff a lot. I look at it before I go on a date. I try to, I go back to it before I have a phone call or a FaceTime. I look at that information a lot. That information is golden. Like, I want you all to go to YouTube and I want you to put in body language expert or body language secrets. Man, all you got to do is watch that over and over. And I started noticing people's tells. I started noticing when people were really serious and when they weren't. Little tiny signals, little tiny tells that people have that tells you how they really feel. That's priceless. I really encourage every man and woman to do that. Now, I'm going to just share this with the men before I jump off. So women with NPD, women with borderline personality disorder, is a little bit different. They also are going to rush, right? Because the theme of this video is rushing a person, rushing into something, trying to have that instant familiarity when there is no such thing. How we become truly familiar with people is over time, weeks, months, years. That's how we truly earn trust. That's how we truly get comfortable with people. We see people in situations and circumstances over and over and over and over and over again. It's the consistency of people. That's how we know them. So it's not just talking on the phone. It's not just texting. It's observing. It's living out life with them and observing them and see what they do in certain situations over and over and over and over. What do they do around the holidays? What do they do in the winter? What do they do in the spring, in the summer, in the fall? What do they do around their birthday? What do they do when they get sick? What do they do when they have stress at work? What do they do? And the fact that y'all want to rush into these relationships with people that you have not spent 12 months, 1 year, 4 seasons, looking at them, listening to them, talking to them, watching them, observing them, seeing if there are patterns or not. I pick up patterns in people. I pick up patterns in my best friends. I notice patterns in my best friends, and every time I call them on something, they're like, how do you know that? How did you know that? Because I watch people. Like, I love people and watch them and study them. That's why I became a therapist. And I'm like, yeah, on Wednesdays you do this. On Fridays you do this. This is the day you normally come in late. This is the day, yeah, I studied people. That's what you're going to have to do. And I'm going to encourage you to do it for 12 months before you accept someone's ring or before you give someone a ring. Okay? But these people that want to rush in, they want to make you fall in love, they want to put you in limerence, they have an agenda. They have a plan for you. They have something on their mind. And whether that's just to get sexual access, whether that's to get your money, whether that's to get, a place to live, a car to drive, or whatever resource that you have, these people have a plan for you. Okay, that's it. But for men, I'm going to share this with you. This is how NPD is going to show up different in women. So women are going to rush too, right? They're going to rush. Women are going to be very charming. Again, same as men, very charming. They're going to compliment you. They're going to do the eyes. They're going to do the touch. Oh man, they're going to do the touch. They're going to do the touch, and they're going to let you touch them. They're going to have sex way too soon. They're going to give you their bodies. Maybe on the first night, second night, third night, because they truly believe that's some sort of hook, right? And then after you all have sex, they're going to act like, yeah, we're in a relationship. Yeah, we're a couple. Yeah. And they're just going to act like, yeah, you're my man. They're going to show up and act like, yeah, you're my man. Yeah, we're in a relationship and blah, 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 right? Because they have to move everything quick. You're the man. You're so great. And you're this and you're that. And then they're going to find the hole in you. They're going to find the part of you that's empty. And they're going to start filling it. So whatever that is, if you've never had a woman compliment you, if you've never had a woman listen to you, if you've never had a woman submit to you, that's the main one. Oh, whatever you want, babe. Oh yeah, you choose, you pick, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're going to love that. Okay. And now I feel like the man. Oh my God, I've never felt this way before. But again, I want you to recognize that this initial love bombing stage, this initial honeymoon phase where you seem so perfect. And remember, the NPD person, it is a projection. I am projecting onto this other person an ideal person. So whatever I think that person is, that's what I expect. So it's just like people who meet me, especially if they've seen my platform. They meet me and they recognize, oh, Anita's very quiet. She's actually more quiet than I thought. Because I see her online and she has these videos and she's talking and she's animated and, sometimes she gets very passionate and angry. But in person, she's actually pretty quiet. In person, she's actually pretty introverted. She observes people more than she speaks. She doesn't need to be at the center of attention. She doesn't need the limelight. No, I don't. Out here in the world, I do much more observing. And think about it. I'm a professional listener. I do much more listening than I do speaking. And so, what they projected onto me, which is this fun life of the party, oh my gosh, and then they meet me and they're like, okay, why aren't you entertaining me? Like, why aren't we talking nonstop? Why aren't you telling me something funny? Right? Because, oh, your videos are so funny. Okay. Like, you get me out here in person and no, I mean, right? And so now I fall off the pedestal. The thing that they thought I was, what they projected onto me, is no longer there. So, yeah. And now comes the devaluing. Oh, you're not as fun as I thought. Oh, you're not, and here we go. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I think I saw Soul on here. Hopefully he had a chance to watch, but I am actually going to upload this to YouTube. Y'all, I have to jump on a Zoom call. I just see the time and I have to jump on a Zoom call. I have a Zoom console today. But I hope this was helpful. If you came in on the end, please watch the full video. If you're subscribed to my Instagram channel, you're going to have access to it right now. If you're not, you're going to see it on my YouTube channel later on today. All right. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you all. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.